Oh man, oh fucking man. Only a few days after I make a video talking about how you nerds on the internet don't know what real fighting looks like, I come across a video where an internet nerd learns the hard way what real fighting looks like. Basically, some fat guy was I don't know, he was on drugs or something. He just starts yelling on the train. He says something about Jews. He says something about Saudi Arabians. And, this little Jewish internet nerdy guy, you know what I'm saying? He's thinking this is an MMA class, right? He fucking gives the guy a judo throw. He does that martial arts stuff. And I made a whole video talking about this where sports fighting is not real fighting. Don't worry, guys. The dude who made this video, because again, you can't show what real fighting looks like on YouTube, so unfortunately we can't see the good stuff. But for those of you little sissy boys who are terrified of violence, that's probably a good thing. So we're gonna see what happens when a little internet nerd, brings his judo, brings his martial arts, brings his boxing against somebody who's gonna skip all of that and just get to real fighting.
4:31 p.m. as the train pulls into the Hollywood Transit Center. 23-year-old Talesian Namkai Meche can be seen approaching Jeremy.
Have fun saying that name 3 times in a row.
With his cell phone recording.
Look, he even got his fucking cell. He's gonna make a TikTok video, guys. The little internet nerd's gonna be a TikToker.
I've never experienced this, bro. Like, real life racist people.
Oh, do something! Do something!
Now, I'll give the little internet nerd credit. He does have some grappling skills because this guy is twice his size and he kind of ragdolls him. The thing about Jews, man, Jews know how to fight. Okay. But an internet nerd that's a Jew doesn't know how to fight, so just look, right? This guy's got some grappling skills, and he looks, stereotypes exist for a reason. He looks exactly as you would expect a little internet nerd to look like.
That's the
Yeah, fucking ragdolls him, right? I mean, this guy's got some grappling skills. Look, he's gonna do it again. See? The dude doesn't skip leg day at least. He needs to work out the rest of his body. But that's not gonna matter. One of the things you learn in the police academy, and one of the things you learn in the streets in general, is you don't mess with people who have nothing to lose, okay? You see a guy on a public train, drugged up, yelling like a maniac, that's a guy who has nothing to lose. The main reason you don't want to mess with people who have nothing to lose is because if they have nothing to live for, they're not going to care about your life. So, and in the video I just posted, where I talk about how internet nerds don't know what real fighting looks like, I advise people that watch the video, don't fight. If it's not a situation where your life is in danger, just leave it alone, man. Just let that shit go, because this little internet nerd, because he grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, look, he's even standing like Nappa, for fuck's sakes. He grew up watching Dragon Ball Z, he grew up watching Skeletor, because he's built like fucking Skeletor. You know what I'm saying? He grew up watching this anime nerdy cartoon shit. And then in real life, he's even got a Spider-Man shirt on, for fuck's sake. So this dude fits every nerdy stereotype in the book. And when some real life shit happened, he could have easily just ignored the fucking fat, drunken, drugged up guy who has a suicidal guy. He could have just ignored this guy. But he's been waiting for this moment his whole life, because now we can finally be Goku. Now Goku was bulletproof, but you, on the other hand, let's watch the rest of the video.
As Jeremy stands again, a 3-inch folding knife can be seen.
At this point, it was already over. The thing about predators, especially predators who have nothing to lose, they pick on people that they believe are easy targets. This was a no-win situation at this point, because if he tried to disengage now, he would have got stabbed in the back. If he tried to run away now, he would have triggered the predator's prey drive, and he would have got stabbed anyways. He has no situational awareness because he's never been in a real fight before, because he's an internet nerd. He sits in the house all day, right? So he doesn't know these things. Because he has no situational awareness, he's still standing in the guy's face. He doesn't even notice the dude pulled out a weapon. You know, when a guy pulls out a weapon, you have to immediately go on the offensive. At this point, you cannot run away or you'll get stabbed in the back. At this point, you now have to basically beat the shit out of the guy using whatever you have, and at this point, you can't even worry about jail time. Now the situation has changed. Now you got to do what you got to do to go home, right? You got to use whatever level of force is needed to get that guy away from that weapon. Now, because this little internet nerd who grew up watching Dragon Ball, he doesn't know this, so what happens next is unfortunate. Don't worry, you little soy boys, that he censors. You're not going to see the good stuff, but we got to see the good stuff.
Seen clutched in his right hand just before the unthinkable happens.
Get off the mat. Go on and get. You see him? Help me.
Yeah. As soon as the little internet nerd experiences real violence, the first thing he does is cry like a bitch and screams, "Help me." And that's what these guys do, man. You know, they spend 20 years of their lives never being challenged because they live in the basement, and then the second they get put in a situation where their life is actually in danger, fight or flight triggers and they scream, "Help me." You know, I've been in this situation plenty of, the dudes that I got into it with, they didn't have knives, they had guns, you feel me? In Baltimore, if you're walking around with a knife, you're gonna get made fun of, man, because nobody over the age of 15 in Baltimore carries a knife. Everybody over the age of 15 here is strapped. Like, if you're over the age of 15 and you're carrying a knife, you're gonna get made fun of. And you better hope you don't get into a real situation. But I've been in this situation a couple of times, but I mean, the guys had superior weapons. They didn't have fucking knives. And, you know, when you try to pretend like you're a certain way, when you're a little internet nerd who finally has a taste of violence, you're going to cry like a bitch. You're going to scream, "Help me." Nobody on that bus is going to help you, man. You know, it is what it is, man. So let's wrap this video up, and because I think you guys get the point by now.
I'm sorry? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You got a fucking little Christian lady screaming for God. Oh my God, help. God isn't going to help you. Okay? You got to help yourself. And yeah, this guy is going to go meet God. And he's going to see in death, you know, God can't help you, buddy. A dead God can't help you. Nobody's gonna help you, man. God's not gonna help you, and the people around you aren't gonna help you. You gotta help yourself, man. But unfortunately, little internet nerds can't help themselves. Let's keep watching the good part. And man, I think I'm evil, man. I'm enjoying this way too much, man. You should have called 911 the second the knife came out, ma'am. No one's gonna stop him. Nobody, because the thing is, everybody else has something to lose, man. Nobody that has shit to lose is gonna stand in front of a psychopath who's lost everything, who's taken out one of his victims, man. Nobody's gonna help you. Stop saying, "Oh my God." God's not gonna help you either, man. I have to drill that in on people's head, because there are some arrogant motherfuckers, some narcissistic motherfuckers that come on my channel oh, God picks and chooses who he wants to protect, and God ain't protecting nobody. And a lot of you fuckers are gonna learn that the hard way. If it's not you, it's gonna be your children.
Micah Fletcher, Talesian Namkai Meche, and Ricky Best were each violently stabbed.
Oh, he did it too. He took out both of them by himself. That's what's up.
By Jeremy, who then exits the train onto the platform, seemingly not finished with his brutal rampage.
Oh, he's going after more people? Huh. Now, Baltimore has a lot of problems. I'm telling you right now, man. It depends on what section of Baltimore he was in, but if he was on a Baltimore train, man, and he was threatening random people with a knife like that, some little 12, 13-year-old gang member, man, he would have pulled out a gun and shot him, man. Like, it's just different, man. You know, these spoiled little white guys in the middle of nowhere, fucking Alabama, Montana and shit, man. You know, and these little internet nerds, they don't know what violence looks like, man. But again, certain areas, if you're threatening people with a knife, it's not going to end well for you, man. Because, you know, but that is just what it is, man. Let me just keep it at that, because YouTube will take my video down. This is for educational purposes, YouTube. Leave me alone.
As Jeremy flees the scene, the two young girls who bystanders claim were the target of his initial verbal assault are seen running up the staircase. A bag dropped by one of the girls is then picked up by Jeremy, who throws it onto the nearby freeway. He continues on his way, passing several unwitting civilians.
So this is what an incel looks like. That might be the title of the video. An incel and internet nerd learn with... Nah, that's lame. I'm going to just stick with the title I had in mind. Because I don't really want to attract too many people to this video. I only want to attract the people that get it. So I'm not going to use any trigger words for the algorithm. We're going to keep the views for this video as small as possible. Because the people that regularly watch my channel, even the guys that disagree, I think you guys get it by now. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you.
Civilians who have no idea of the carnage he's left behind. Back at the train, bystanders and passengers work desperately to provide first aid to the three injured men as they wait for help to arrive.
So, I'm first aid trained. I'm CPR trained. And they really didn't let correctional officers administer first aid where I worked, and they didn't let any of the officers administer first aid, you know, after I left corrections and started working other places. The protocol was, okay, you stop the bleeding, and then you let actual medical professionals come and handle the situation. The reason for that is, you know, Good Samaritan laws usually protect you if you accidentally kill somebody you're trying to save, but the issue is, it's an experience thing, right? There's a difference between practical application in the field and some shit that you learn in the classroom. The 6 months that you spend learning first, well, you don't even spend the full 6 months learning first aid. You really only spend a couple of days learning first aid. So those few days that you spend learning first aid, you're better off just letting somebody who heals people every day take care of it, if you actually give a damn about the person's survival. So they shouldn't be administering first aid. They should be stopping the bleeding, and then that's all, right? Because, I mean, if the dude is stabbed up, he's got to get to a hospital fast, or... oh, man. Oh, I'm fucking evil.
Footage recorded by those on the scene shows the aftermath of the attack.
No, he's not okay. What the fuck?
Please. Help me. Oh, God.
God ain't gonna help you, buddy. And this is the thing, right? If God gave a fuck about you, you wouldn't have gotten stabbed in the first place. But that's what people don't realize. If God gave a fuck about this man, he wouldn't have gotten stabbed in the first place. That's gonna piss a lot of people off that watch my videos because for whatever reason, religion is like the one thing people don't want to abandon, and unfortunately that's the one thing that permanently keeps people from getting it and ascending further. But that ain't my fucking problem. Rely on that God fellow if you want to. You'll end up just like this internet nerd that grew up watching Dragon Ball. Alright, I think you guys get the point by now. I don't know if this guy died or not. I don't give a fuck if he died or not. I'll finish watching this video after I take my nap. This video is gonna be uploaded just so people, if my last video didn't emphasize the point, hopefully this does. If you're a little internet nerd that grew up watching Dragon Ball, stay watching Dragon Ball and leave real fighting to people that actually can handle this shit, man. Because, bro, honestly, as soon as you threw the guy on the ground, your weapon should have been out. Because what did you think was going to happen at that point? You thought he was going to put gloves on and give you a one-on-one? What's that shit the Gen Z people be saying? A fair one, a fair fight, a fade, man? That shit don't happen in the real world. And they tried to jump the guy. Like, once they saw he had a weapon, he took out both of those fuckers. He stabbed both of them. So, I mean, the guy's gonna get a life sentence now, but I mean, hey man, he's good with that knife. He'll be straight, you know, and he's gonna have to be straight because he's gonna be fighting for his life for the rest of his life. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.